Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get airborne with our weekly options, regularly scheduled live trade brief. Have a lot to cover. Hopefully everybody had a nice cold beer on Saturday or a nice shot of liberal tears as Justice Kavanaugh was confirmed as an associate justice, and cats all around America went starving as a bunch of batshit crazy people melted, which was awesome. The rule of law has been restored-ish. And it's kind of funny that Dr. Ford all of a sudden mysteriously through her attorneys this weekend said, well, she's not going to pursue any, actually in the state of Maryland, there's no statute of limitations on sexual assault or rape. So Dr. Ford, please go to the local police department and the state police and file charges. Okay. It's disgusting. It was an awful death knell for the Democratic Party. You could actually see Dianne Feinstein's career dissipation light turn on as that shit happened. Last week, if you didn't attend the Analyze Your Trade session on Thursday, it is a must watch. I did a good brief on our sector targeting, especially now as the market's kind of rolling over a little bit or taking a breather. Having a little bit of an October surprise. The tech wreck is continuing, and Amazon is not immune to it. We'll talk about that stuff in a little bit more tomorrow, because remember, this is weekly options. And we'll talk about some other things. It is, Kevin, as I predicted, the EWZ is on a tear. The Brazilian, the Trump of the tropics, they are calling him, is going to get elected. And I predicted the EWZ will see a rip-your-face-off rally, just like Donald Trump's 2017. We'll talk about that in a second. So I also updated kind of our trading methodology. We'll talk about this tomorrow night. So tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, we're going to kick off our next round of live full throttle training. Is there anybody in here that is in options weapons school and not full throttle? Anybody who is in OWS? We haven't done an OWS for like 3-4 months, but if you're in options weapons school, you don't get access to the full throttle training. So you have to, for non-members, we're going to send out emails today to, it's $495 to attend. But if you are an OWS member, you kind of get the family discount. So you get the 8 sessions for $195. So is there it? Okay. Yeah. I'll post the link for you. If you're an options weapons school member, you will not get access to the 8 training sessions. It's options weapons school and not full throttle. So there's where you need to go. And you guys, like I said, you get the family discount, which is a very, very good deal. Let me paste that in there. So options weapons school, final call. You guys, if you want to get access to the next 8 sessions, we're going to start session 1 tomorrow night. So get a nice bottle of wine or your adult beverage of choice, maybe some wine coolers for the Marines and the Air Force folks. And we'll do 8 sessions. So that's about 4 weeks. As of now, it'll be 4 weeks every, Tuesday and Thursday at 7. That changes all the time. Some pops up, or I have a board meeting, or hedge fund people in town. So the schedule is always subject to change. So that's not hard and fast, but I know tomorrow night, at least we can get airborne with session 1. I wanted to wait to send this trade out, and that's good that I did, because now it's at 16 cents. Let me grab a screenshot of this, and I'll talk through it. Well, hell, if we can get 17 cents for it, I'll get 17. So hold on, let me grab a screenshot. Start looking at this. I wanted to wait to send. I was going to send this text out a little while ago, but of course, we get the mid-afternoon Chicago and New York guys going to drink some tin sandwiches, coming back hungover from lunch and getting a little bearish to see if this market route continues. File, save as. Let me brief the trade real quick, and then we'll get tactical. We'll fly inverted. We're going to get tactical first so I can get this trade out, because I want to test the broadcaster. Been testing over the weekend. Should be anybody who's ever had a problem should not have a problem getting a text, period, because it does not come from a 5-digit number anymore, and there's no spam issues at all. So text my list has been phenomenal. VXX 10-4 metrics. So let me text this out real quick. And then I'll back brief you on the trade here. Let me just grab the thing, and I'll leave it up. And remember, guys, when you're in the webinar, up at the top of the window that you're viewing this, there's a screenshot button. Okay, I can't show it to you because you're looking at it, but right along the top, I forget what it says. I don't know, option something, and it says there's got a little camera with a screenshot. You can take a screenshot of this, so you don't have to scribble furiously or wait for the text alert. You can take a screenshot of what is on the screen as we're doing our webinar. So don't forget about that. All right, we are in weekly options. So I'm looking to get bearish on volatility. If you ain't in the mood for a sporty trade, do not do this. You should be paper trading it. If you're new to weekly options, you should be paper trading until you get comfortable. But weekly options new, VXX bear call spread, 150 contracts. Yep, we'll debrief Amazon in a little bit. Had a shitty Amazon weekly options trade last week. But when you're at a 92% rate with Amazon year to date, you really can't complain. Sell 30.5 calls, buy the 31 calls at a 17-cent. So this is a credit spread, folks. This is a bear call spread, 17-cent credit. Whoops. Let's go about 2 cents wide. I saw it as low as 14 cents as I was sitting here trading. So, Harry, if your page is full screen, make your page to normal size and you will see the camera. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, if you're going full screen on this, you might not be able to see a good catch, Harry. Plus or minus, let's go about 2 cents wide. So that means I'd go out to a credit of 19 or down to a credit of 15. Okay, so right around that window. Weekly options new, VXX bear call spread, 150 contracts, October 12. Expiry, so that's Friday. Obviously, I look to sell the 30.5 calls, buy the 31 calls, 17-cent credit. There's no adjust or eject on this. This is I'm throwing this missile down range. We'll talk about what's going to go on the rest of the week and what could reach out and touch us. Can volatility go higher? Hell yeah. We could see a VIX up. VIX is up at 17 right now. Well, let me just get this straight out. Full throttle training starts tomorrow night, 7 p.m. So just kind of a reminder. So no adjust and eject on this. If you are an adjust and eject person, that's you gotta do that stuff on your own. I'm done with the adjust and eject. I didn't do that as a pro, and I rarely did it. So this was sent out to 577 people. And people who in the past, see, this is the pain in the ass, guys. When you mark us as spam on your email and you go, I'm not getting member emails and you people suck. You suck. You put us as spam. There are also people who put us as spam, and it's almost physically impossible to go through and unspam our number with your cell phone carrier. Yep, I got it. I just got my text too, so it's working. So, okay, good. Text messages are working. Now let's back brief what we're looking at. I'm looking at selling the 70. I'm looking to sell 150 of this Friday's 30.5 calls. That's me saying, hey, VXX, you VXX, I'm talking to you. I don't think you're going to be. Where's 30.5? Right here. Where's 30.5? 30.5 is right here. 30.5 is right here. 30.5 is right here. 30.5 is right here. 30.5 is right. Oh, it's right there. If you believe that the rest of this week could be an absolute shit show, do not short volatility. I'm warning you folks that this trade could blow up in our face. Donald Trump, well, he already said he's not going to fire Rod Rosenstein. I don't know. They're just, I'll brief things that could go wrong this week where volatility could go higher. I don't think that's the case, and I'll tell you why here in a couple minutes. You guys should be seeing everything I'm talking about. Let me click this button. How about now? All right, so here's the trade. Let me start briefing it again, guys. I'm looking to sell. Whenever I take a screenshot, it freezes. I'm looking to sell 150 of the October 12th 30.5 calls. Okay, the 30.5 calls. That's me saying, VXX, you're not going to be above 30.5 by Friday. Here's 30.5. Let me grab my little spotlight here. There's 30.5. There's 30.5. There's 30.5. There's 30.5. There's 30.5. If you're a little nervous about 30.5, take a look higher. you're nervous about weekly options, you should be paper trading. Okay. It's already down here to 14 cents mid-market. So 30.5 calls. And as a hedge, in case I am wrong, Wednesday afternoon, Donald Trump decides to nuke North Korea. The VIX is going to be up at 50, and this trade will take its max loss. Okay. So let me let's look at the metrics of this page, the snapshot. Okay. We're risking $5,400 to potentially make $2,100. So this is right around my front month SOP. I don't want to risk approximately more than $5,000 on any one trade. It's $5,400. 5% of a model portfolio of 100 grand is $5,000. Okay. So, now you can say, you know what, Wiz, I accept that is my max loss. If that's too much, you don't do 150 contracts. If it's not enough, you do whatever you want to do. Now we can say acknowledged. I put a check next to that and know my max risk. If I bump into Wiz on the street tomorrow and I say, hey man, what's your max risk on this trade? I can rattle it off immediately. Nobody worth their professional salt as a professional options trader, when you tell them in a trade, goes, hey man, how much can you make? If they are, they're an idiot and they're not a professional trader. Now you can look up and say it's $2,100. It's our max potential profit. Now look at the metrics here, guys. Look at using current at the money volatility. There's a 60% probability of the max profit, and about a little bit more of a break even. Why? I'll tell you why. This, guys, we have smashed the 50-day moving average on the S&P 500 with some serious airspeed. Christine, I've got about 500 people saying they got the text message. You can shoot Susie an email and we'll try and help you out. I got it, and a lot of other people got it. So, guys, I showed you this screen for a reason. We're a radio station. We are broadcasting. It's not on our end if you didn't get it. Christine, if your number is in the system correctly, you should have gotten it. Please reboot your cell phone. As I've briefed countless times, I haven't gotten text messages before, and before I go piss and moan at people, I reboot my cell phone, and there's 7 of them sitting there. I had to call T-Mobile one time when we were broadcasting from a 5-digit number because they said it was spam. I'm like, it's my company, man. It ain't spam. So everybody got it. Or if you didn't get it, we're broadcasting, guys. I got to move. The trade's on the screen, guys. If you're in this webinar, I don't know why you're too concerned about getting the text message. I just briefed the trade. It's right here, the 30.5, 31. I showed you the metrics, and I just told you where you can take a screenshot of it. You physically, right now in this webinar, do not even have to wait for the replay email to come out. You can wait for the replay email to come out to watch the replay, but that's not the trade's on the screen here, guys. So the text messages really are for the people who ain't in here. Okay, here's what's going on, guys. The reason the metrics are so low is, what did I say we were going to do? What did I say this chart's going to look like? I said, that's exactly right. I said the end. You see the end of June, July? You see what we did here? We had we went through the 50. We went up and chopped around in all this volatility. I said what? I copied this, and I said copy, paste. This is exactly what is going to happen for the next month. October is exceptionally volatile. The shit show in Washington this weekend means the midterm elections are going to be awful. How about this human piece of shit? This writer on the Colbert Show, that guy's an awful human being. Ariel, what's her name? She's a head writer on the Colbert Show. Whatever happens, I'm just glad we ruined Brett Kavanaugh's life. That's the left in a tweet, guys. Doesn't matter if it was true or not, or that he's confirmed. I'm just glad we ruined his life. This MF piece of shit. There's Hollywood for you, folks. Awful human being. All of those people are awful. Going to the to our Trump. Speaking of this asshole, I don't even know who this comedian's name is. He had a 20-minute rant. Oh, John Oliver, on the rise of the Brazilian Donald Trump. What did I tell you 2 weeks ago, folks? Steve and Amy printing money in the EWZ. We'll talk about this tomorrow, guys. I gotta get to some other trades. Anybody get into EWZ when I told you to get in the EWZ? Captain Kirk, I said the Donald Trump of Brazil is most likely going to win. Look at, since I said to get into it, it's up 16%. The Donald Trump of Brazil will win, and the EWC will see a rip your face off rally like our markets. Period. Okay. So, just let me get back to here and the trade. The reason these metrics aren't that high, guys, is because of what I just should have freaked you out about. Look at the VIX. Up 18% to 17.5. Does anybody remember back here or here when I said this is nuts? What did I say last Tuesday or Monday? I said, folks, this is nuts. But volatility, look at the last 3 months. Every time volatility peaks, it sells off. Now, it can stay elevated, guys. The VIX and VXX can stay elevated up until Wednesday, Thursday. Something can happen Friday and volatility smashes. If you look at a 6-month chart of volatility, look at this. Every time, last time we've gotten up here, what happens to it? Smash, smash, a little higher, and smash. So this trade, I'm telling you right now, is not for the faint of heart. Exactly, Mike. When let's all chant it like we're in a cult. When volatility is cheap, you buy it. When it's expensive, you sell it. Volatility, based on what we've been going on and going on in the world, is exceptionally expensive right now. However, and let me scare you if you're not sufficiently scared, it can go higher. We've seen the president on a Friday morning turn, a losing bullish volatility trade on us into a max profit trade with the tweets, about Turkey and stuff like that. So it is very dangerous to short volatility. I'm warning you that. However, by using our strategy, and trade is already up 3 cents from when I sent it out. 3 times 150, that's what, $450 this trade's up already. So, what's going on in the world? First of all, this is just seeing liberals and Democrats' faces melt off. Look at this article, guys. Read this. This is Politico, and I'll show you my response. After failing to stop Kavanaugh's confirmation, Democrats wonder if it's time to be more ruthless. So throwing urine in the face of cops around the Supreme Court, screaming and spitting on Republicans, confronting cabinet members or senators or congressmen when they're eating dinner, throwing them out of restaurants. That's not ruthless enough. Democrats are asking themselves, should we get worse? So bringing a woman from 35 years ago who the dude says he wasn't even at the party this lady's accusing him of. She doesn't know how she got there, got home, doesn't remember. Nobody even remembers her being there. They're going to get more ruthless. Here's what Uncle Wiz said. Democrats don't know what bathroom to use. Republicans believe in a well-regulated militia. Please be more ruthless. I'm not kidding you, folks, when we are getting to a pretty bad state in this country. And I'm telling you, the military and the police ain't going to be on the side of people that throw urine at them. Brazilian Trump. Exit polls show a tsunami in favor of the right-wing presidential candidate. I'm going to talk more about this stuff tomorrow. We have 12 minutes left. This is an EWZ, a PLTB type of discussion. But 2 weeks ago, I told you the Donald Trump dude was looking like he was pretty solid. And what was I right? Came out, exit polls, this thing has been disgusting. I told you EWZ 2 weeks ago, Donald Trump of the South. Do some research. It might be, for most of the people, and I talked to a lot of my coaching guys about EWZ, it might be EWZ Captain Kirk time. In this, when you got liberals in the United States, liberal alleged comedians going apeshit over Brazil elections, we've hit we've hit a raw nerve. He's a good dude, free markets, anti-corruption. I think he's, where is one of these articles I was reading? He actually used like a term down there about draining their swamp because they already threw a previous president in jail. I think Dilma goes to jail too. Look at us. Hillary Clinton book tour, Barack Hussein Obama poking at the president, John Kerry negotiating, violating the Logan Act, negotiating with Iran. Why aren't those people in jail? They're doing it in Brazil. We just don't have the balls to do it here. Trump, China's Xi, we might meet at the G20 summit. China says it's not afraid of its trade war with the U.S. Its actions show otherwise. New report says Trump wants Chinese parts out of every American weapon. Why? Turns out last week, Apple and Amazon have a shitload of Chinese chips in a lot of their crap, and they're spy chips. They're made by the People's Liberation Army. So there goes Amazon. So there goes. Now Amazon, it's done with for Amazon, guys. This will be at 1750. Next stop is the bottom of the Keltner channel. Tomorrow we can talk about it. I'd be out of everything Amazon except the Jan 20 and 21. This is it. Amazon has broken down. It's official. Now it's a momentum trade. Amazon's not going out of business. It'll recover. It ain't going to recover anytime soon. Facebook. I think 8 times a day I'm getting Facebook Messenger messages from people. Hey, somehow I got defriended. Here's a new friend request. Everybody's getting hacked. Facebook is imploding literally in front of our eyes, and I predicted it. You ready for this? Marketers increasingly hesitant to deploy ad dollars on Facebook via Deutsche Bank today. So this is it's done, guys. I was here's my wrong. I was wrong thinking that Amazon would be immune to it. It ain't. That article last week that Amazon's got Chinese spy chips and a bunch of other bad news. It's over. Get out of well, you should be pounding the fangs into the dirt, but Amazon did not think it was going to get hit this hard. So. And we'll talk about the other trade tomorrow. It's a different portfolio. I'm telling you, strategically, it's over with for Amazon. Short term. Didn't say long term. Matter of fact, who was it? Rich and I had a good call yesterday. Who was it? Phantom? I said I'd be itching as this thing bottoms out to get into a new Jan 21 or to add to an existing one. So I'm not saying exit the folks. This is a $3,000 stock in a year. I think around Black Friday and Cyber Monday, this thing's back up around 1950 to 2000. It will recover. It's Amazon. This is what you call a momentum trade, right? This is a momentum trade. All of these are. Twitter is awful. All the tech stocks are awful, folks. It's over with them. Will they rise again? Probably. I don't know. We have other targets of opportunity where we can be doing a hell of a lot better, but I'm just not. Jeff Bezos signed he brought the, right here, man, Jeff Bezos brought the spotlight on himself when he shouldn't have. He should have shut the F up. And so that was a scare. And then the whole shit, you got spy chips in there, antitrust. So this ain't good. So should have bailed, should have sat on my hands when Jeff Bezos was an idiot. But then he gave a speech the following week at an Air Force conference. He had every opportunity on stage to rip the president apart. He didn't. So we got this and then we got that. Now it's a momentum trade. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with Amazon. The $15 minimum wage thing won't even put a dent in their earnings. They print money, guys. They should have raised their minimum wage ages ago. So techs are imploding. We're in the middle of a tech wreck, and I don't know if they're going to recover. Facebook ain't going to recover. I told you Mark Zuckerberg's got to go. But look at Tesla. Tesla, man. Tesla, great article. Elon Musk and America's toxic cult of the CEO. Who wrote this article a year and a half ago? I told you these toxic limousine liberal and CEOs that just think their shit doesn't stink. So, Rick, I did not say that about FXI. I said I was itching. As a matter of fact, I said maybe even put on your calendar reminder November 1st. We have been pounding FXI into the dirt. I'd be put on a bearish double vertical today on FXI. I'm talking about folks, Donald Trump got a deal done with Mexico. He got a deal done with China. He will get a deal done with China. It's a matter of if, not when. Short term, very bearish on China and the FXI. What I said last week, guys, was I'm itching, meaning this, starting to feel maybe sort of kind of that we should think about getting bullish on China probably in a month or two. Folks, we don't even have a meeting scheduled to talk trade. Did anybody see the clip this morning of Secretary Mike Pompeo in Beijing? Does anybody know what Mike Pompeo said in Beijing today? He's on their turf. What did he say? He poked his finger in their chest and said, "We do not recognize the new quote-unquote borders of China 600 miles into the Pacific. We have a fundamental disagreement. We will not recognize those borders." He's in Beijing. So, thanks, Rick. Do you have a time machine? It's like you go forward in time and report what will happen. Rick, I try and use my thinking brain. We'll talk about oil in a second here, but the Secretary of State just this morning or their last night, whatever, Rick, I have to go backwards in my time machine, said, "We do not recognize islands in the middle of the Pacific as China, and we're going to keep sailing our United States Navy through these for freedom of navigation passage." So I didn't say get bullish on FXI now. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Rich yesterday, our detective buddy up in the Great White North. I said, "Dude, put this on your calendar for a month or 2 months from now." This is headline. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. We are at a triple bottom on FXI. That FXI trade expired on Friday for $2,300 max profit. Took half the sting out of the Amazon weekly. And then what else did we have on? Was it ExxonMobil? Whatever it was, took the other sting out of it. This is a bearish double vertical candidate right here. No good news out of China. Matter of fact, Asian markets are rolling over as well. And thank God our bond market is closed, or else I think it's perfect that our bond market is closed today for Indigenous Peoples Day, right? Not Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. So I think I think this little route or contagion, I'll say it one more time, we do this and you can put it right here. Because if we keep going lower, guys, many of you haven't been here long enough to know what I call in between the 50-day and the 200-day. This is called no man's land. This is trench warfare. The 50-day is the Allies, and this is the Germans in World War I. Trench warfare. Nobody went out in this thing. Automated trading, black boxes and stuff like that, they like that and they like that. And if it's in here, they go to whichever one has the momentum. So if we don't, this is why I'm telling you folks, and I don't want to hear any bitching about this. If this trade loses, and this is a trade, this isn't a trudge, this spread right here. If something bad happens between now and Friday and volatility has a rip your face off rally, I'm going to say, well, that was briefed. Okay, there goes $5,000. I'm okay with that. I knew my max risk. So let me finish up here because, and I'm doing an abbreviated, essentially primary live trade brief because I have a lot of stuff on our radar we have to talk about tomorrow. Is this, look at this headline, traders settle in for what? The return of $100 oil. What's coming up on November 1st? This clown car. We haven't heard from, they've been as quiet as a church mouse too. Why? They've been watching North Korea, man. They got generals and missile technology. They swap soldiers. I mean, they're allies. You haven't heard boo out of Iran recently. So, and guess what's going on down here, man? There's another hurricane. Where's it going? Straight towards where it most likely will not be good. New Orleans, Houston. So look at that. Right in the panhandle. Pensacola, man. So oil we're seeing a lot of volatility in oil. And our ExxonMobil trade has leveled off or our ExxonMobil. So we looked at what? Synthetic stock right here. Hell of a run out of ExxonMobil since we got bullish out to Jan 21. It's time for a new bull put spread up here. Probably around that 84, 83. Out a couple weeks in front of earnings. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. That's kind of your homework as well, is to look at XOM. Here's what I wanted to do, and this isn't a weekly options trade. Yeah, ExxonMobil's going phenomenal. A lot of folks getting a lot of good comments on that. And don't forget, guys, Amazon taking 2 lumps here with the weekly and the one out the next week. This shit happens, man. These are missiles that just came out of nowhere. we did some pretty damn good planning, and every one of these briefs, when I do on Amazon, I brief you on the dude's quiet, but if he opens his mouth, he's retarded, and it's a danger to the trade. And then last week with the whole Amazon and Apple, and of course Amazon and Apple said what? We don't have any Chinese spy chips in our stuff. Who do you believe? You're going to believe our tech companies, or I actually believe China. And actually, it was a report from the government, our government, that says it's in it. The president just said, I want every Chinese item, I don't care if it's a pleather seat in a Jeep, ripped out of their vehicles. So I would, there you go. Well, not a different one. Harry got it right. So Harry's calendar reminder's going off. Harry's a smart guy. You had us write down last year XRT and Amazon trades. So one of those is right, Harry. So let me, everybody, I'm not kidding when I tell you to do this, because if you're not a member this time next year, I want you to be able to get some free money. And here's what I'm talking about. So look at what Harry wrote here. Harry's been here and he knows. So it ain't going to be Amazon, Harry. It's going to be what? Take the time right now. I have October 15th on my calendar. What am I going to tell you to get long right now? So this isn't weekly options, and this isn't. So we usually do what? We usually trade the front months, right? We're in the front month, October-ish. Then we usually have these on. Very rarely do I do anything in here, right? I don't know. Let's call them the mid-months. I'm going to do one right now. And you know what it is? Because we're imploding pretty quickly on this. Here we go. The XRT. The XRT, and you could do XLY, but I like the XRT because it's more seasonal. I'm going to give you a free seasonal trade. You ready? Look at the XRT. Holy shit, Wiz. Wow. That's why I'm giving it to you now. By my calendar date on every October 15th, I get long. It's just the middle of October. Why? Let me show you a 1-year chart. Look at the middle of October right here, and then look until the middle of January. You can back test this for those of you that have savvy trading platforms. What is that? That's a what? I can't see. Stop. That's about a 24% gain. Just about every fall, retailers come out and say what? At least under Barack Hussein Obama, what did retailers say? It's going to be an awful Christmas. It sucks. The consumer sucks. Everything sucks. Everything's miserable. They were right under Barack Hussein Obama, but they were wrong about what? The retailers. They sandbag, folks. I'm already seeing down here in God's waiting room in Boca Raton, need season. Every store, Town Center, Boca Meisner, they cannot hire enough people. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is a seasonal trade. Every fall, you should get long the XRT before November, because right around here is what? Right towards the middle to the end of November is Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Rip your face off rally. And then as we go through the holidays, we see great pictures and videos of Americans beating the shit out of each other to save $100 on a TV. Damn Trump supporters. And then what happens? We go into the middle of January where these people report like, holy crap, this was the best Christmas. Wait, am I allowed to say that? I own the company, so yeah. Or Kwanzaa or winter solstice that we've ever seen. And then what happens, folks? They implode on earnings. It doesn't matter if their earnings say, Christ almighty, this was the best thing we've ever seen. They've already said that. So, folks, this is a seasonal buy the rumor, sell the news. And Harry and the folks that have been here for a couple of years know that this is a free money trade. Now, why do I think it's going to be even, and I'm going a little long, I know, but this is rarely do I do a straight call buy. This would be one of the times. Why is this year going to be even better? Christmas stuff's already at Walmart. God almighty, Doyle. Then it's an even better reason to say, why is this year going to be even better? Somebody tell me. Better than last year. Why? Earnings, not really. No. Retail up, no. Confidence a little bit, Rick. Who wrote that? Who said it first? Dennis. Peter. Doyle. Payrolls are up. Tax cut. Does everybody remember the grand, $2,000, $2,500 companies were putting in people's pockets? I personally have been doing consulting with some companies that shall remain nameless who are going to be throwing Christmas bonuses at their employees. Wiz, we can't deploy all this freaking cash. The economy is doing well, consumer confidence is high, wages are up, and people got a big fucking tax benefit in their paycheck. This will be awesome. I love this. So, JM, that's where I'm getting to. I just gave you my commit criteria. I don't jump into the trade. Here's the trade, guys. I would go out to January's expiration, a Jan 19, and I would buy a deep in the money point, the calls closest to a 0.8 delta, which would be the 43s. I would buy 10 of the Jan 19 43 calls for $5,900. That is the most you can do. Christmas trees are larger at Costco this week. There you go. This is a beautiful looking trade. And guys, I am rarely a straight call buyer. If you believe everything that I'm saying, if you believe that, Wiz, you know what? It is. I went back 5 years. It does seem like every fall the XRT pops, and then it sells off before or as earnings come out. Well, duh. Then, Tamara, I didn't see you in here. Hopefully you had some good physical therapy. Uncle Wiz, if he was really believing all this, and he added 2 more reallys, he would be doing a bullish double vertical out 3 months. Now, I'm not going to sit here because I'm already over by 6 minutes, but all of you watched the full throttle training, and you can figure out how to do that. Because we're not going to do full throttle double vertical training for about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, so you can watch the video. So you could either be a straight call buyer of these, and let me grab them, new, or you could do a bull put spread that far into the future. There's nothing to say you can't do a 3-month out bull put spread, right? I just don't do these often, guys. I'm usually busy trading the front month or managing our Jan, 19s and 21s and 20. So this is great. But this is the mitochondria. Didn't think I'd use that word today. This is like the DNA. This is just a base trade of XRT. So sometimes I have to teach to our lowest common denominator, people that are relatively new to options. If you're relatively new to options, you know that buying some calls, you think this thing's going to do this again this year. And those calls would do very, very, very nicely. So, did I hear you say XRT double vertical? I did say that, Harry. If you really, just looking at this chart, but folks, how many of you trade with a broker that lets you trade off the left side of the chart? There ain't no broker that does. So we have to use our thinking brain. And like Rick said, hey man, do you go into the future, see what's going on and come back here? I might. A little bit of peyote. So what we got to do, Harry, is say, what's different about this year? What's different about this year? Last year, folks, we didn't have tax cuts. We were talking about them. Hey, Donald Trump might, tax reform and everything like that. This year, we're actually going to get them. Brett, you got to watch the videos, man. I'm already over by 8 minutes. If I have time tomorrow in the primary live trade brief, our hour-and-a-half session, maybe I'll look at what the double vertical would look like. Guys, it's all right here, man. It's all in the full throttle training, okay? So weekly options, we looked at a bull put spread. This is kind of a free seasonal trade. And the reason I'm telling you about it now is this, folks. And Brett, and I don't mean to be short with you, but I respect people's time, and we'd be here for 8 hours if I map that out. Brett, do me a favor, and as soon as you get out of this webinar, you get into the ready room. And why don't you talk to people about that? The reason I'm putting out these XRT calls now is this. I mean, it does big, medium, small. We might be bottoming out on this, on the XRT. So, I don't think this is catching a falling knife. I think this thing rebounds and gets airborne. So we do have time, Brett, to get into the ready room and ask your fellow, hey guys, I'm looking at a bullish double vertical out to January on the XRT. Here's the strikes. What do you think about it? And people, Paul's in there, Werner, Steve, Brett, I know you're in there. I seen you. We have a new guy, Tavo, or I'm saying your name wrong. This guy is super motivated, man. He makes me look undermotivated, and he's a brand new TGO member. Get in the ready room and start tossing around double vertical ideas. And if Tamara's well, maybe she can get in there and start poking around as well. So, Arthur, I did. The SMS went out 20 minutes ago, and it's on the screen here, guys. Right there. It went out to 577 people. If you did not get it, and if you didn't get it and you already talked to Susie and she manually inputted it, it's not our fault, guys. One more time, folks. This is a broadcaster. We are a radio station, man. We are WTGO. This correctly went to 577 people. 8 of you, for whatever reason, have blocked us with your cell phone carrier, and that ain't our hap. Okay. Arthur, I thought I saw that you talked to her already, and she put it in there. So and guys, we're sending. I can't copy that number, Arthur. You need email support. We broadcast to 37 countries. So I know I got 3 buddies in Afghanistan who are getting text alerts from me. So, wrong Arthur. So Arthur K versus Arthur G. So Arthur K, please email that to support at Top Gun Options, and she'll try again. Okay. But again, TGO worldwide. So does everybody get this? Right now, I'm looking at straight calls, being a straight call buyer, which many of you, if you've been here for a couple of years, you fell out of your chair. But if you've also been here for a couple of years, you know that I've been waiting for the pumpkin spice lattes to put this trade on. This is a mid-month bet that we're going to have a good Christmas. Isn't it funny? Every Christmas, retailers make it sound like we're all going to die. And then come January, or even before that, Black Friday, there's people using mace in Walmart to, get the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. So, there you go, Mike. Breaking news: unusual call options volume in the Jan 19 on the XRT calls. I'd love that, man. If John and Pete in the Jan. Well, look at this, Mike. You're actually right. Look at this. Does everybody see this? No, I didn't, Harry. I got to do that. Does everybody see this? This was at 0. TGO once again has moved the market. Freaking A, man. I love this. Okay, 5, whatever, shit for brains. It was right there. Thanks, Harry. I appreciate that. It's a straight call by, which I'm not used to sending out text alerts on. It's very, very rare. Mike, that's funny as shit. Keep an eye on those. TGO moves the markets in XRT. This ain't it is funny, but this is funny. Now, this isn't really a weekly options trade, but I wanted to get this out to you. I'll monitor. I throw these on, guys. I had 2 coaching calls yesterday. And there's another reminder, guys. I do coaching calls. I'll be out at dinner Friday night in Miami. If that's your only time, I will step outside and we'll talk on the phone for an hour. I'm not shitting you. Weekly options new. XRT straight seasonal call buy. Long calls. Straight seasonal long calls. Man, I haven't typed this in a while. Buy 10 of the Jan 19, 43 calls at 585. This is a debit, obviously, guys. Debit. What was the initial trade? Mid-market. I think they're already up. Oh, 585. Good. 585. 585 debit. Beating the seasonal pop in XRT. Could use what? XLY. And to Harry's point, I did say this, folks. I did say last that Amazon will recover. Listen to me, folks. Amazon will recover around this Black Friday, Cyber Monday shit. Amazon always comes out with breaking news. We were disgustingly printing money. It always happens. It's just right now. John, I said that. I am talking to the lowest common denominator. I said you could do a bull put spread out to there. You could do a double vertical. There are many things you can do with XRT. You can do straight calls. You could do a bull put spread. You could do a bullish double vertical. You could do all three of these. So, John, you're absolutely right. I for the sake of time, I'm covering the most basic caveman or cavewomanish trade you could do. Or how many do we have left? You could use XLY, or Amazon will have recovered by then. You know what? Weekly options, new XRT, straight seasonal long calls, buy 10 of those at that. It's at $5.95, Diane. Sweet. So it's up 10 cents. Debit beating the seasonal pop in XRT, could use XLY, or Amazon will recovered by then. Fire another one. Let me look at something real quick, guys. And I'm sorry I'm going long, but this is important stuff. 590. Okay. Sweet. You got it, John. I love, like I said, I love the way you're thinking, man. Put on a bull put spread. Sell puts underneath it. Yeah, man. I love the way you're thinking. Where are we? Ladies and gentlemen, this went from 0. Now we're up at 212. We have moved the market in these calls. And we might hit, guys, if this was 0, I mean, we've moved the open interest up to 388. Here's what's really cool. This is why it's funny when I hear people talking about options flow or screeners like, hey, I don't know what's going on in XRT, but there's a bunch of people jumping into it, so we should too. Do you know how stupid that is? I'm an idiot, and people are going to I'm kidding. People are going to jump in after me. Isn't this awesome? So, Mike, the XRT call volume speaks to the confidence that TGO members have in you, Wiz, and your process. Thank you, my friend. That's high praise. And these keep going up here. Now, let me shoot air in all of this shit. This is not last year. Well, Wiz, we didn't have tax cuts, blah, blah. I get it. I got to point out the risks. What if it is the shittiest Christmas ever? These calls will go to 0. I don't think it's going to happen, guys, especially after this sell-off right now. The XRT is cheap. Yeah. John, 222, 229. Other John, 240. The call volume is going through the roof. We will hit some unusual options scanners, guys. Isn't this funny? We will hit because it is unusual activity. And if I were John and Pete on happy hour, whatever the lunch is, I'd be like, looks like people are scooping up the retailers in front of the holidays. Looks like whoever this big call buyer feels like we're going to have a good Christmas. Maybe because John or my brother Pete, that the retailers are going to do good. Consumer confidence is at record highs. Unemployment at record lows. Payrolls are rising. We have tax cuts in our pockets. And from what I hear, a lot of companies not only are going to, they threw those Trump tax cut bonuses at their people 8 months ago. They're going to give them a happy Kwanzaa gift as well. So John, Pete, I'm jumping in these calls as well. How was that? Isn't that awesome? So, good freaking work. And we're going to break 300 here. I wonder if people, hold on. And I'm really sorry I'm keeping you late here, but let's look at our, where the hell is their trade, their live action thing? Highest call volume today relative to the average. I'm going to sit here and watch this towards the end of the day, guys. You see this? So Gulfport Energy, it's $11. There's 44,000 calls. The average call volume is $1,000. That's a 3,900% difference. We actually could be in here today. We could be on this board. Keep an eye on this. If you're bored or you're trading and you're hanging out here, because after my webinars, I go for a walk, get my head clear as the recording's rendering. I'd love to come back and see us on here. We did one day in FXI, man. We moved the hell out of the market in FXI. It was comical. It was awesome. This is a proud day for TGO. Look at us. We broke 300. John, we are at 306, baby. I'm grabbing us in 309. All right, and you know what's funny is when I said, hold on, let me make sure I got the second text. Well, if you get the first text, you're getting the second one. I got both texts, and they came from 2 different numbers. That's what's even cooler. That I think these guys like rotate their numbers, which is awesome. Hold on, guys. Sweet. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry I went long. We went 20 minutes too long. Volatility, I think, comes in. TD Ameritrade's showing 340. Thanks, Kirk. I appreciate that, man. And yeah, 344. Oh, this is comical. Well, anyway, so you're watching history. This is now mid-market's up to 590. So technically, we move these calls up a nickel with our volume. We are hitting somebody's scanner. Jen, what we paying for XRT? I don't know what you're paying for XRT. Mid-market on it is this. Can you get filled at mid-market? I don't know. You might have to walk it on up a little bit. I don't know what you're paying. It's on the screen. Harry, XRT making money already. Arthur, if history is to be made, it should be you. Thanks, Arthur. This is cool. Patrick, does higher open interest make fills harder to get? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, higher open interest makes fills easier to get. Folks, we just created some interest. Look at this, 356. Guys, we have created interest in these calls. I guarantee you, John and Pete, if I were, I haven't talked to those guys in a couple of years, but when they had Trade Monster and I guarantee you, I'd tell them, now we're at 369. We would look at, this is going off on somebody's scanner. Look at Jan 19, guys. Jan 19 would be look at this. The closest at all would be to some at the money calls of 4.9. But look at this. There's no volume. I guarantee you, are setting off alarm bells. This is awesome. Arthur K. CNN earlier had slime critter saying Trump bullied by U.S. Pentagon to stay in Afghanistan. I don't even watch. I don't even know what CNN is. So, okay. My 44 call down $110 on 40. Fish, how are you losing money on this? Well, whatever. Fish, this is a set it and forget it, guys. This is if you don't think that the XRT, if you think that the retailers are going to suck this year, you should not be in this trade. I think it's going to be awesome. Brett, great question. Let me finish with this, then we have to get going. And this is fun. Thanks for putting it on your calendar. Love it. And I'm not kidding you, man. I have calendar requests with seasonal trades like this. So I'm not kidding. Grab your phone, October 15th, put on repeat annually. When it says recurrence, I want every October 15th. You should put XRT, Amazon, XLY. Get long one of those because this happens. But whoever asked that above, Brett, it's a great question. It's not going to be hard getting out of these in January because we're going to get out of these before expiration. Okay? Or, Brett, when are we going to get out of these calls? Or actually, I'm not going to say we. Brett, when are you going to get out of these calls? And that's a loaded question, but I'm picking pronouns appropriately. You, not just Brett, everybody listening to my voice needs to get out of these calls when? What am I going to write up here? Somebody fill in the last letter. What is your what does your SOP say about straight calls? Brett, 70%. Tim, 50%. Greg, 80%. Harry, when they go up a lot. I know you're being facetious, Harry. Give me a number. Or Brad said that. Kevin's more realistic. Kevin's flying formation with me a little bit. I'd say Harry's a 50, 60, 70. Fish is a 50. David, when you feel piggish. Steve, 70%. Gary, min 50 up to 70. Gary, I like your window. Well said. David, sell half at 50. That's a good SOP. Everybody listen to David. David's saying, hey, Wiz, I'll sell half of them at 50. I'll take some money off the table. Maybe I let the rest of the 50 ride. Very well put. Tony, 60. John, sell some off as it goes up. I like that. Exactly. So I did that on purpose. So, Brett, that was a great question to spark some debate with. I don't know what your SOP is for straight calls. I got to be honest with you. If I double my money in a short amount of time, Uncle Wiz takes some profit. But if this thing gets on a tear, halfway through the tear, when I feel like the hair on my back of my neck standing up going, you know what, I probably should, that's when I do it. So I like the numbers. To me, a straight call buyer, I'm a 70 to 100%. Because the only time, guys, I am a straight call buyer of anything, I believe they're going up. This is why I told you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll let you go on this. Sorry for going late. This is also why I believe it's DV time for this puppy. I'll be working with many of my private clients this week on putting on a double vertical on this. A 3-month out double vertical. Haven't done one of those in the last time I did one of those was last October on this. And I think it was like a 32 grand trade. At least, who was it for? Amy. So, John, that's up to you, man. XRT or XLY or Amazon. That's a long discussion about which one I would choose. I'm giving you the XRT right now. I actually personally, John, put all 3 of them on. So anyway, other John. Or no, current, that John, when doubled, close and take half. Yeah, there you go, man. I like that. Very well said. So, but yeah, one final last pitch. If you are in options weapons school, you do not get access to the 8 training sessions. It's usually about $500 and we throw them at you for $195. That's the family discount. Please keep that in the family. Don't send that out to everybody on your Facebook list. Like, hey man, I'll save you $300. So, but yeah, we'll start. And the reason I'm saying that is because I need you to get in here. If you are interested in a double vertical on, you know what, dude, you're right. XLY, XRT, or Amazon, they're going to do that Christmas Christmas bounce. You guys know exactly that's going to happen. I'm telling you, with the Trump tax cut, ooh, I like that headline. Look at CNBC. Pain ahead for China. The Shanghai is down 3.8% right now. How many of you are printing money in your FXI bearish trades? Man, that could not be any nicer. Do not trade any more Amazon. We're done with Amazon for a while. I would be in FXI. I would be pounding FXI literally into the basement. Thanks, Harry. Absolutely pound FXI. The pain, we are breaking a triple bottom here. I'm stealing the thunder from tomorrow's PLTB, but this can be homework, or this is if you're itching for some trades, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. We break 40 here on FXI. There's some serious airspeed. I don't see Donald Trump or Mnuchin or Peter Navarro or Larry Kudlow coming out in the next hour going, huge talks with China next week. God Almighty, man. When the hell's the G20? The president might shake hands with the dude on November 30th. A month, nearly 2 months away, the president might meet with Xi. Pound the FXI, guys. So, JW, at this point, my friend, so JW brings up a good point. He's like, hey, man, do you think the PBOC is going to jump in? At this point, it don't mean shit. At this point, the PBOC steps in, you'll get a little sugar high and then even lower. It happened here and it happened here. When the market realizes that, holy shit, it's got to be worse than they're telling us because they're getting involved in capitalism. That's when market panic sets in, guys. So, okay. And again, I save a lot of these tactical comments. And Steve, I just got your text. I'll I'll call you right after this. We're doing some good work with the private coaching guys, man. And David, or no, David, you were going to go lifetime. Who else was somebody? Steve Blankenship, a couple other guys. There's onesies and twosies left. I'm still waiting to hear from you guys. Otherwise, I have to free those slots up. I got a lot of people who don't want to be dogfighting this market solo. And this is just a good time of year to do coaching, guys, because it ends this time. You want to come up with your 2019 plan. And it's awesome. I got Clay sitting here. I got Fish. I got Kirk. Kirk did a great job. Kirk's doing some excellent work out there in the great West North. A lot of good stuff, guys. So if I don't hear, I don't want to show everybody that sheet, but so last call for Bill. I know you're doing hourly because I know you got stuff going on. You're safe, Bill. John Stein, Tim Blankenship, Steve Richard, and Rich DeSilva. Rich, I'm still waiting for you. But what's that? 1, 2. So I have 3 slots, guys. I'll tell you this: if you're interested in coaching, shoot me an email, because now I'm going to go market on this, guys. Because I've been waiting to hear back. I know people were moving stuff around, so give me a call or shoot me an email. Wiz@topgunoptions.com, and I'm only gonna, just based on bandwidth, guys, it's most likely only going to be, I don't have really the bandwidth for Commodore's Club. It's going to be Commanding Officers Club, folks. So there it is in the chat. Shoot me an email if you want to grab, what was that, 3 or 4? Wiz@topgunoptions.com. And remember, guys, this is for coaching only. I can't answer your, hey, man, I'm in this Amazon. What do I do? I cannot answer a one-on-one trading question. That is not, it's not legal. I don't do it. You can go into the ready room for that. So if you're interested, shoot me an email. I can always jump on a quick 5-10 minute call and tell you about the coaching program. But if you're one of the folks where I just read off the name there, and you're in red, we need to get going here, or I got to release those slots. All right, do your homework. Look into FXI, pounding it into the dirt. And before we go, I got to get a screenshot of history that we made. This is the second time we've moved the market. Look at that shit, guys. 443. Can I get a hell yeah? This is the highest volume this is funny, folks. This is a big traded ETF. There's 5.3 million shares. This is the XRT, guys. Somebody now, if this goes up even more, what is it? Somebody tell me what this is. This is a bunch of other crappy option services going. We're seeing unusual activity in the XRT. Jan 43. Somebody came in and bought a huge block of the 43 calls, betting on, blah, blah. That's us. So if you get that email, laugh. Well, don't laugh, because they're jumping in and they're making your calls more make money. Diane did the XRT and the XLY. Diane is a woman after my own heart. I would have done the same thing, Diane, and maybe in Amazon. But I diary of the mouth saying it's over short term for Amazon, and it is. But by January 19, folks, Amazon is back to printing money. So, Kevin, shoot me an email. Kevin, were you on my initial list? John Stein this week, definitely. All right, good. I shook a couple of you guys loose, and I'm serious about that, because I've been giving the Heisman to about 2 or 3 guys who are ready today, but you guys contacted me first. So let's close the loop on this and get airborne. So, all right, guys, let me take a screenshot of this. Let's remember this day when we move let me look at XLY real quick. The Jan 19, what are the 80 deltas? Look at this. So there's 5 contracts in the XLYs. Amazon's probably got a shit pot, but let's just, for shits and grins, look at the Jan 19, 80. It's probably, never mind. Let me grab a screenshot of this. And by tomorrow, so somebody remind me tomorrow to look at this, the XRT, because after I send out God, I hate the screen capture shit when that pops up. New. Hold on. I'm trying to grab. Hold on. XRT. Damn it. All right. I'll do this later. Whenever this drop down of all the stocks comes in and blocks the name. But there you go. Somebody do me a favor and grab a screenshot of their screen with that, because I can't figure out how to use my Snagit, where I go to click Snagit. Oh, wait, shit, I did it. Hold on. And it, perfect. Never mind, I'm good. So there you go, guys. You saw history. We move the market, and we are market makers here at TGO. Another day, another history made. And as we get bigger, guys, it's only gonna get better. All right, guys. Hey, sorry for going way too long. How's before I go? However, because I got to go run over and get this shit done. The VXX. How are we looking at here? 30.5, 31.5. Oh, it's up at 20. Shit. Yeah. Well, that doesn't make any sense. What the hell are the strikes on this? Because Dow's already recovered half its losses. The 30.5, 31. Oh, duh. That's why. 30.5, 31. I did 50 cent wide. Oh, holy crap, man. Nice. Good job, Steve. Steve got 16. He made 6 cents so far. 6 times 150 contracts is $900. Anybody good? Affiliate 14, even 14. Fish, I would not have gotten this at 11. Guys, when I give you a range, man, I mean that range. What did I say? I said like 17 cents plus or minus. I said 15 up to 19. 11 is way too outside my risk reward. It could be for yours. I would not have gotten. Guys, listen to me, and we're going to cover this in spread training. If it's outside of the window I gave you, I personally would not do it. If you want to do it, Fish or whoever else, at this point, guys, I would have gone down a strike because vol's starting to come in a little bit. Does that make sense? And we're going to have to talk about that in the training. But oh, you were saying it was at 11. Thank God, Fish. You almost made me fall out of my chair, man. What are you doing to me? You're giving me adjective, for Christ's sake. It's at 11. Come on now. You're a great American, Fish. So, awesome trade. $900 in 40 minutes. That's doing the Lord's work right there, guys. Good looking trade. Well, it's at 11. So if you got 17 or 16, still $750. Nice trade in a while. Very, very well done. Good looking trade. So, and listen to me before we go. And who was that? Steve? If you don't mind making $900 in 40 minutes, close the trade. That's what, a 30 or 40% gain in 40 minutes. So pigs get slaughtered, man. Here's your parting commanding officer's words before we go. I almost changed my SOP from a 7, 8, 9 on credit spreads. If I'm selling volatility short with a bear call spread, I'm going to move this over here, guys. You ready? Here's new SOP that I was working on. I'm going 6, 7, 8. Why? Because how many of you go, shit, man, if we get a rally tomorrow, let's say, and the VXX implodes even more, if this trades up 60, 70, 80, close it. Because that's when Donald Trump opens mouth, inserts foot, and does something, and VIX goes through the roof again. Be very careful shorting volatility, guys. Let me show you what happens to people who tried to make a living shorting volatility. This will be the last thing, and we're out of here. Where's VIX? Let's take a look at 1-year chart of the VIX. Right there is what happens to people who short volatility. What did we have at this point? Like $2 trillion in short volatility trades. I didn't pick the day or time, guys, remember in December, I briefed, I said there's $2 trillion in open short vol trades. I said people are running around right now wearing their short volatility capes in front of a steamroller picking up dimes. Their cape is going to get stuck. People's lives, hedge funds, family offices got wiped out. Look how big this spike is. So, guys, if you're looking at a $900 gain and being short vol in 40 minutes, close the damn trade, please. I remember that day too, Harry. So, anyway, Fish, you're killing me. Fish, did you get filled on that one? When I thought you were saying you were filled at 11, man. I know you know the SOP, man. So that's why I almost fell out of my chair. I'm like, there's no way he got filled at 11. So that's all I was saying, my friend. Good. And it's at 9 cents right now. Shit hot. Guys, get out of this. XRT's at $6 now. Holy shit, guys. What a freaking great webinar. What a good time. We got some good shit going on. So, guys, there's a lot of trades I put out to the masses here. There's a lot of trades that might be a little bit more aggressive or different risk tolerance that I do with my personal coaching clients. And now the Dow's positive. Paul, I survived Volmageddon and all I got with this lousy t-shirt. That's not all you got, Paul. You got promoted to be the skipper of the ready room, my friend. I would get out of whoever just said they're up 1050. If you're up $1,100 on the VXX trade, close it. And I might be sending it. I haven't even. Here's the thing that sucks. And there it goes, guys. I haven't even had time to switch over to Brand X and get into this freaking trade. My performance is lacking that of a lot of my clients. Look at this. What is this at right now? It's at 9 cents. That's a 50% gain in VXX, guys. Shit. Damn it. God bless you guys. Tim closed at 9. Tim, why don't you kiss my ass? Damn it. 30.5, 31. You got out of it at 9 cents. Guys, 9, 8, it's 8 times 150. 8 times 150 equals $1,200. Tim, ew. Kevin, we did this a couple weeks ago. It was a 30-minute trade, and then by the end of the day, it smashed even more. Guys, if you're up $1,200, Uncle Wiz I didn't even get into it. Damn. And the somebody's already up $1,800. How many calls did you buy? Christ almighty, somebody's printing money in XRT is just starting to rally here. Woo. Kevin, I know because I didn't get filled on it either. You and me, my brother. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. You're a great teacher. This shit's live. I enjoy this stuff live, man. I knew this was going to happen this morning. I'm like, the world ain't over, man. People could give a shit about a December rate increase. This is way oversold. We're going to dead cat bounce a little bit here, but all right, I got to go, folks, but because now if you got out at 9 cents, man, God bless you. That's some good work. Good for you. So anyway, well, Harry, I sent out the text alert at 17 cents. Tim said he got out at 9. Tim, I don't know what you got in at. But if you got in at 17 and it was at 9, that's 8 cents. 8 times 150 contracts is $1,200. So, and that's about a 48% gain or profit in now it's 50 minutes. So, does that make sense? Oh, you got 14 cents. Exactly. Well, then obviously, Harry, that's different math. Whew. What a good time. And ladies and gentlemen, where did we suggest XRT? Where did we suggest XRT? Does anybody want to take a guess? That is the power of being here. Tim, in at 17, but only 100 contracts. Hey, man, a profit is a profit. Look at you, man. Look at this. That's exactly when we got into it, Tim. I'm taking a screenshot of this MFer too. This is a market, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the market action. People, I don't know who they were, but they must be a smart bunch of son of a bitches, jumped into the XRT, and what happened? There is capitalism on your screen. Get off the drop down, man. How did I do this last time? Snipping tool. Guys, this brings a tear to my eye. Nah, I'm kidding. But this is, we're doing like Chicago trading here, guys. This is like, we moved the XRT today. Well freaking done. XRT move. October 8th. Write that day down. And hopefully, not hopefully, hope ain't a strand, it's going even higher. And hopefully, Kirk, I am still here. Kirk had to go. Dr. Moore had to do some rounds here. Kirk, no, we're laughing about Tim. If you're in the VXX trade, it was down to 9 cents. That was $1,200 in a half an hour. So the 30. So so what you missed, Doc? I'm still here shooting the shit because we were laughing at volatility. The XRT, the VXX is imploding here, and people who got in at 17 are trying to get out at 9 for $1,200. So here's that dead cat bounce. Look at this, dead cat bouncing out. Mike, a bunch of wicked capitalists with their closet militias all buying XRT, showing confidence in the Trump economy. I'm framing that one, Mike. You got it, Paul. George Soros can kiss my ring. Malicious. So here's what we did today. We moved the market in the XRT. I showed you what capitalism looks like, guys. Now you've seen it live. You ain't looking at and it's gone even higher. Let's go look at what's our Jan 19. Let me get rid of the front month here. 460 calls. This is when we put this trade on. Let me close in today. 13, right around here. That's when we put on our XRT trade. We did that. That is 99.9% us, and it's about 1% some other dude who is following us. All those option services that have no idea why something's going up, and they decide to get into it. Woo! Awesome. Tim, my militia is not in the closet. All right, guys, I'm going to get going because this is fun. I'm going to grab new screenshots of the 460 calls, the volume. I'm going to grab a new screenshot of this chart, and I'm also going to grab a screenshot of the VXX as it dead cat bounces here and goes lower. If you can get out of VXX today for a nice 1 hour profit of 50% or better, do it. So thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Patrick, time to short XRT? Right now, Patrick, we could, if we all decided to get out of those calls and get bearish, all of us at one time in this room, we could do some work, folks. And guess what? None of this is illegal. This is all, we can do whatever the hell we want to do. I love it. So, all right, guys. Wow, that was long, but this was fun. I had an absolute blast. I haven't had this much fun in a while. Thank God Kavanaugh's in. Thank God people are screaming and melting and slow. Thank God we have the rule of law. And if Democrats, like they on that one tweet, Politico said, Democrats are trying to decide if they should get more ruthless. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. As you guys try and decide what bathroom to use, I'm going to get my AR-15 ready. All right, man. We're back, baby. Ignore Amazon for a little bit. It's a shit show. We ignore shit shows. Let's stay focused on stuff like this, man. A 3-month nice XRT, some long calls. If you would, Ann, I get you an Amy, private coaching client, listened in the background and said, and just sent me a text. She did a bullish double vertical on the XRT, and she already made $2,300. So if you really, really, really think the XRT is going up seasonally, like it did last year, and doing some good work, please watch the double vertical training, or you give Uncle Wiz a call and say, Wiz, I want some one-on-one Commanding Officers Club coaching. And I'm looking to hear from all the 3 dudes who just rogered up, like, hey, man, I'm alive and I'm getting back to you. We need to finalize that shit this week. So you bet, Arthur. Let me know if you start getting text. You bet. All right, JW. All right, guys. Yeah. See you later, Mike. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless, and we'll have a good primary live trade brief tomorrow. Look at Brazil. Read up about the Trump of the tropics, and it might be Captain Kirk time. Even though it had a good pop, man, look at what happened around Trump. It's too late to get in. It already popped. I'm like, no, it hasn't. The dude just got elected. We're going to have a rip your face off rally. And 2017 was one of my best years ever. The EWZ will continue to rally. Look at EWZ. All right, guys, God bless, and I'll send a replay here as soon as I can. We'll see you.